Hey y'all, it's Jordan from Jordan Budgets. Today I want to share with you how I budget my $4,000 per month as a family of 3. I am a single mom of 2 boys, ages 8 and 10, almost 9 and 11. I can't believe it. But I am a single mom. I don't get any state allocated money except for my boys do have Medicaid. I also don't get any child support. Sharing those things just to let you know this money is what we have. This is it. I don't have any health insurance. I currently just pay out of pocket as needs pop up, so you won't see that in this budget. What else is noteworthy? I mean, I am living off of $4,000 per month also, so like there's no long-term savings going on right now. This is kind of, we're at a bare bones budget kind of stage of life, living off of $4,000 per month. And I thought it'd be fun to share with you guys exactly how and where all of that money goes. In future videos, I would like to chat about more about how to budget and things, but just to be clear, in this video, I just want to share with you guys how I budget, where my money exactly is going. And I am going to share with you in a second sort of how I, track all of these things, but we're gonna save that for in just a little bit because I want to just quickly write down how I budget, where my $4,000 goes, because this is gonna be very, very easy, okay? I will say too, I am a full-time Etsy shop owner and I have my own website, jordanbudgets.com, and I make money here on YouTube. So I also don't have a full-time income. I aim for about $4,000 per month. Sometimes it's less than that. Sometimes it's more than that. But if it is more than that, that extra money stays in the business bank account. But when it's less than that, I don't even make $4,000 per month, right? But this is kind of like the goal and the usual for me. Ideally, I will build my business income up to be enough so that when I don't make $4,000 per month, I have a bit of extra money in business that I can pull from. But again, full transparency, that's not where we're at this stage in life. So before we get too chatty, because I have a habit of doing that, let me just quickly break down how I budget my $4,000 per month, because it's broken up pretty easily into different categories. My bills and expenses total about $2,200. My rent, I'm not gonna write these things down, but let's just chat about it. My rent is $800 per month. I do rent a 1-bedroom, 1-bath from family. It's not big enough for it to be a home that I would want to forever stay in, but for right now, to stay within our means, I do rent a 1-bedroom, 1-bath for $800. All of my other bills, what's another big bill? Oh, my car bill. I do have a car note of $400. That's also within a bills category. So rent is $800. My car is $400. Also within that bills is a debt consolidation. I know this could go in a debt category, but to keep it simple, because the credit cards that I had were all just consolidated and I pay them in one lump sum, those are $400 per month. And then just to keep it simple, writing it down here, all of my other bills total $400. I'll tell you the other bills that I pay just quickly. I pay $35 for a phone plan through Cricket Wireless for myself. We have Hulu for $1. Hulu ran a special at the end of the year, so we got it for $1. Otherwise, we would not have it on this budget. Trampoline park. Oh, there's another debt. So there's another debt that I'm just paying off. It's an Amazon card for $45. If you have questions about my debt, I will be honest and say that a lot of it is business debt. I didn't have my business and my personal expenses very well separated out. And as a new business owner with no business history or background in the family, I've kind of been winging it and learned some things the hard way, debt being one of them, and not separating my business from personal. But a lot of that consolidated debt and this Amazon card are from like business purchases that I made in the past. So anyway, there's another debt in this $400 for $45. The boys and I have a trampoline park pass, which is also something we don't use a ton, but I have it, so I have to stick it out for the year. That will be the first bill to go as soon as we can get rid of it. State Farm for car insurance, I pay $92 per month. Electric, I'm on the budget bill pay for $173 per month, although that's about to go up. But that's budget bill pay is just where you pay like a consistent amount every single month so that I know what my bill is, and then they readjust your fee every like 6 months. Mine's about to go up because I used so much during the last winter. Gab Wireless is like phone watches that I have for my boys, and I pay $38 for both of them to have phone watches. And then our only other bill is Netflix for $9. So rent is $800, car is $400, debt is $400, and then all the other bills that I have are $400. It's gotten to where at this point I know exactly what my bills are. And this is kind of a rough estimate because also under this bills is like gas I use for the month. We'll talk about that in just a second, how I track that. But my bills, my like what I need to live and to keep the family running is $2,200. The other categories are gonna go super quick. For food, I always aim for $800. That is for fast food, groceries, and household stuff. I don't really see the point in breaking it all down and getting to the nitty gritty. I've only been back to tracking my expenses and really keeping up with everything these last 4 or 5 months, but I'm finding that a simplified way is a way that's so much easier to stick with. When I try to track household and groceries and then fast food, especially the groceries and the household, it's like, well, I don't know, maybe I got $60 worth of cleaners and I got this amount of groceries, and then do I count the drinks as like fast food if it was like an easy coffee? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't do that anymore. I have $800 for all of my food expenses and some household stuff. So I do track what of it is fast food and what of it is not fast food, like what's groceries. But like I said, I'm a single mom. I'm also a homeschooling mom. I don't know if I mentioned that, but I've been homeschooling my boys for 4 years, and we're always on the go. Like, I've got enough problems to put some kind of limit on fast food. If we get sick, if we're on the go a lot, we eat fast food more. But as long as at the end of the day, all of my fast food and all of my groceries and stuff total under $800 for the month, then I'm happy. So I'll share my real numbers in just a second, because I'm going to show you guys spending for all of May and all of June to get a general idea of like what this looks like in real life. But food is always under $800. So $2,200 in bills and like stuff I have to pay, $800 in food, that totals $3,000. So we have $1,000 left. And out of that $1,000, I have to get everything else, which I just in my budget total as other, and I have to save, because I'm a cash budgeter, I'm a cash saver. So you guys see me cash budget and stuff my cash binders on this channel. All of my cash budgeting and other, like anything else, like say medication for myself. I have thyroid issues, so I have like $10 a month that I need to pay towards my thyroid medicine. If we want to get birthday presents for a friend, if the boys have something like summer camp or something, like all of that needs to come out of this $1,000. So this is my super simple way to keep it in my brain. This is exactly, you know, what I think. Like, I know off the top of my head exactly how much I have towards my bills and gas and stuff we need versus food versus everything else. So let me show you what this looks like in real life. First off, I guess I can show you, which in the next video you guys see from me, most likely you'll see me filling one of these out for July, because it's now time to fill out July week 1. So I will be sharing how I fill these out, but we won't be getting into that so much in this video, because I just want to show you what my expenses, like how it all looks in real life. This is May, and then behind it is June. So I'll just show you bills to start out, because real life, our budget, while we can like try to nail it down perfectly for every single week, every single month, it's going to change slightly, right? Like things are going to adjust a little bit. Because I include gas and parking in my bills, to me it's a bill, it's an expense I have to pay, whether I want to or not. Like, we have to have gas to get around, right? But gas and parking is really the only thing that changes month to month for me. Everything else is pretty set in stone. I just write down what the bill is, and then once I pay it, I put the date and a check mark by it of exactly when it came out. So just month by month, I can guesstimate like exactly when it's gonna get pulled or exactly when I need to pay it. So all of these bills are exactly the same. This is where I track all those bills I just mentioned to you, and they total about they total $2,038, at least until my electric goes up in, I don't know if it goes up for July or August. I guess we'll find out, but soon it's gonna go up a little bit. Gas and parking do change though. So for May, my bills totaled, it looks like it didn't total how much it was with gas and parking. So $2,038 plus $29.50, whatever that totals. It totaled about $2,100, right? Whereas in June, because I paid a lot more gas because we went to a lot of summer camps that were pretty far away, we paid $2,182 in our bills. So still under that $2,200 goal that I have for myself, but it does change a little bit. I also like to track my income again. Sorry, I'm trying to show you like 2 pages at once. Again, because I do work for myself and my income varies, I kind of have income coming in sporadically. I will say I'm working towards getting paid only once or twice per week instead of a bunch of like little payments all the time. That's a whole different conversation. But for May, my income was $3,347, so it was even lower than that $4,000 goal. And then in June, it was $3,776. I'm hoping for in July it being $4,000, and we're kind of catching up, but not even quite the $4,000 for both of these months. I will say the first half of the year starts out a lot slower. Then the second half of the year it tends to pick up a little bit more. At least that's how it's gone. We will see. I think it's been a rough year for everybody, so we will see how my shop does as far as like for small businesses especially. Okay, the other things, let's go ahead and mention. So food for both months, you can see I tallied fast food and then groceries. Looks like in May, which is over here on the right, I spent $118 in fast food, $643 in groceries, and then that totals $761. And then in June, I spent $187 in fast food. Again, remember we were doing a lot of summer camps. We were on the go way more for June. And then groceries, I spent $598. So I bought less groceries, but I honestly do not care. I know a lot of people try to get their fast food down and their groceries up so that they can, obviously that's like a healthier choice, but for me, I'm just happy as long as it stays under $800, and for both of these months it did, so I'm counting that as a win. Now you will see in my middle column on both of these sheets, I have other and then I have cash. These two categories need to work together because again, my bills are $2,200, my food is $800, that leaves me with $1,000. So if I have a lot of other expenses, that is going to lower how much I can spend or save for my long-term savings, how much less I can cash stuff, that's why it says cash, into different savings things. So I try to keep my expenses really low as far as like other things that would pop up. I'm really mindful of my shopping. You can see here that of that $1,000, it's not like I'm buying $200 on new clothes for me or $200 on, you know, some furniture for the house. I don't really have extra money to do stuff like that, right? So for May, let's start here. I had about $26 on some Civic Center purchases. That was like a homeschool thing, and medicine for myself. I did get a birthday presents for a friend. We went to like a birthday party, and then it looks like I did have a little bit of like wasteful spending here. Snack for the boys, that must have been, oh, that was like a random trip to Walmart we did together, and we all just kind of like got some extra snacks, so it was kind of special. And then I got some stickers for myself for my planner for $16. My other spending though totaled $144, which is not terrible. There's no Amazon purchases happening these days, nothing like that. And then it looks like I only saved $400 in cash. So that, like I said, reality can be a little bit different than what you plan sometimes. I only spent out of that like $1,000 that's in my budget, I spent $544, but you will see that my income was lower for this month, right? So my income was only $3,347 was my income. So the other category and the savings category is kind of what took the hit because I was about, you know, $700 short on what I really wanted to make this budget work, right? For June, my income was $3,776, so I was much closer to that $4,000 goal. I will say I was still pretty good about keeping my expenses low. The boys got haircuts for $48. I signed up one of my kids for soccer for $153. Y'all, soccer is so expensive here, but I kind of consider it a need. I'm not going to make him go without soccer season because he loves it, just because I have a lower income, right? Like we find the money for what the kids want to do. So soccer was $153, and that is for like the fall season. So we're paid up and ready to go for that. And then one of my kids needed new socks, and that was $30 for that. So our spending was $231. We did pretty good with keeping that other category low so that our cash savings we could have more money. I will say, if you're really paying attention to my numbers and you're like, that math is not mathing, I saved $1,069 in cash this month. And so obviously I'm above like my $1,000. My income was only $3,776. And if you add what I actually spent and then what I actually saved in cash, it was $4,267. So clearly I had some extra money laying around because I spent and saved more than what I made in the month of June, but I must have had some money just kind of sitting in my bank account and unaccounted for, which is like what made that make sense, right? If you're curious what's going on up here, I would just say quickly, this is how I like to track, not my bills, I don't put any bills up here, but any like variable spending and my income. I track it on a daily basis up here. And then down here is more like the key of if I'm looking for the overview, like what my spending and savings and stuff look like, that's all down here. But a lot of my my monthly spending and income and savings is also tracked up here. So I hope that makes sense. That is how we live off of $4,000 per month. If you were curious how I budget $4,000, this is what it looks like. If you are up for it, please share your income and how you budget down below. We would love to see that. Or even if you just share how much you are allocating towards savings, for example, like what is your goal with savings? I don't know if I clarified, but my goal is to keep that other category as low as possible so that as much of that $1,000 can go towards savings as possible. Anyway, that is it for today's video. Let me know what you guys think. If you have any videos that you want to see from me in the future, please leave them down below. But of course, you will see a cash stuffing from me weekly. And then we're going to try to make it a habit to get back to doing some kind of budgeting video like this on a weekly basis. As always, though, I love you guys. I appreciate you, and I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.
Hey, you with the dream so bright. We're saving together, taking on the fight. Coins and cash, making it last.